Thank you, Madam Speaker. Today, it's an honor for me to present Resolution 409 to honor someone who was very, very special to me personally. But as much as he meant to me, he meant even more to my district and to the entire state of Illinois. What can you say about Bill Black? Bill Black served in this body from February of 1986 when he was sworn in to replace his friend and mentor, Harry Babe Woodyard, in the 104th District that I now represent, until his retirement in 2010. Bill Black, we lost him on September 9th, and we truly lost a giant in Illinois government. There's not a day that goes by when I'm in Springfield that I don't hear legendary stories about the things that Bill Black did on this floor. And let's say they're very colorful stories. You could say that Bill Black mastered the art of the Mike Bost outburst before Mike Bost. He did that stuff before it was cool to do that stuff, before the advent of the internet, before social media. But as a young man, as a boy who was interested in politics growing up in Vermilion County, I used to watch the nightly news and I would see Bill Black speaking forcefully for Vermilion County, for Danville, speaking passionately. And to us in Vermilion County, he was our hero. He was the guy that was fighting for the little guy. He was fighting against the machine. He was making sure Springfield didn't forget about Danville. And his story was quintessential Danville. Came from humble beginnings. His family had a small business. He grew up and got an education degree and became a school teacher and worked his way up through the political system and became state representative. I truly have to say it was one of the coolest experiences of my life, getting to watch him as a young boy, this larger-than-life hero figure for our area, and then over the last 10 to 15 years, getting to know him personally and calling him a friend. I think it's a testament to Bill and to his memory that people thought of him the same way on the day that he died as when he was here representing them in Springfield. In this day and age when attention spans are so short, and with social media and the internet, once you step out of the limelight, people forget about you 5 minutes later. But people remember Bill and the impact that he made. When I first ran for this position in 2018, Bill had been retired for 10 years, and we had decided to meet and get together for lunch at a local restaurant so we could talk about the campaign. And I got there first before he did. And I can remember at the time, I thought I was running a really successful campaign. I was everywhere. I was at every event. I was knocking doors. I was on the radio. I was on television, in the newspaper, on social media. And I'd just been county board chairman for 4 years. And I was really aggressive at getting my name out in the news cycle. I thought everybody knew who I was. So I get to this restaurant, and I got there before Bill did. And so I kind of tried to work the room, and I got a real lukewarm response. And people would look up from their lunch and think, who is this guy? I just want to be left alone so I can eat my lunch. And so I kind of sulked back in the corner and sat at the back of the restaurant and waited for Bill to get there. When Bill walked in, the room lit up. And it literally took him 15 minutes to walk from the door to the back of the room, because every single person in that restaurant stood up and greeted him and shook his hand and had some kind of personal exchange with him. And it hit home to me right then, the kind of impact, the kind of legend that Bill Black was 8 years after he retired from the legislature. I think it's really important at a time when people have lost faith in government, when people think government is some faraway entity that doesn't care about them anymore. Almost every week when I'm back home in my district, I get stories from people about how they are so proud that they worked on some piece of legislation with Bill Black. And we're not talking about some small, insignificant technical changes. We're talking about impactful things that still affect education or small business in a positive way. If I've heard one of those stories, I've heard 100 of those stories. What a better way to install faith in government than to make people part of the legislative process, to make them feel like they have an impact and that they have a role in fixing some of the problems that we face. I know many of us in this body hold constituent service as a very high priority. I know I do, and it's one of the most rewarding parts of this job. But I can honestly say that I never had a choice when I came into office, because that is what the people of the 104th District expected. For years, if you had a problem, you went to see Bill Black. It didn't matter what it was. And almost always, Bill got those problems solved. A few years ago, we decided to change location in my district office, and it was the district office at the time that Bill had had probably his entire time that he was in the legislature. And Bill was somewhat a hoarder of documents, of records. And so we had 2 rooms full of file cabinets, chock full of files, paper files, and literally thousands of files of constituent issues. And in every one of those files, there was a personal handwritten letter, a copy of a personal handwritten letter in Bill's own handwriting about the issue and how Bill was going about resolving the issue and how important it was to him. And I was blown away that this person that was in the limelight, that was so busy, had taken that amount of time to address each and every one, thousands of issues personally. To his family, his wife Sharon, his kids and grandkids, it could not have been easy to share him with all of us all those years. But I hope you understand and realize the kind of impact that he had on all of us, on the 104th District, on Danville, Vermilion County, and the impact that he had on the state of Illinois. He was truly a giant in Illinois state government. You know, in our little city of Danville, we've been blessed to be the home of many giants. We were the home of Dick and Jerry Van Dyke, Gene Hackman, Bobby Short, astronaut Joe Tanner, U.S. Speaker of the House Uncle Joe Cannon, Supreme Court Justice Rita Garman, and we were the home of Bill Black. And thank God we were. Godspeed, Bill. We love you. We're going to miss you. Madam Speaker, I respectfully ask for passage of House Resolution 409 in honor of a giant of a man, Representative William Bill Black of Danville.
Representative Marron moves for the adoption of House Resolution 409. All those in favor say aye, opposed say nay. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted.